In the second row over here on 2, fourth seat.
Ty, Jason Lloyd, Akron Beacon-Journal. If Kevin can't go, is Timo a possibility? And when you look at the success the Thunder had going big against this team with Steven Adams and Serge Ibaka, can that be duplicated with Timo and Tristan Thompson?
Timo has to be ready. It's a chance, an opportunity for him to play. We've talked about that as the staff. And, he just has to be ready to play. And we'll see what happens from there.
Joe in the front.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. Ty, as you know, after game 1, the discussion was you guys just need to play a little better.
Mm-hmm.
But now that you've had 2 games that didn't go well, I mean, can we expect to see something schematically that's radically different or even marginally different than what we saw?
He has to play better. Just, being at home, they won two games on their home floor, and we're confident in coming back home here. We haven't lost all playoffs. We play very well, and our guys understand that. I mean, they're a good team. That's why they won 73 games this year, and they play well at home. And they had 2 good games, and now we've got to come home and protect our home court.
But how do you because you're right, I mean, they only won their games at home so far in this series, but you're talking about the best regular season team in history record-wise. And the numbers historically are not good when you fall behind 2-0. How much of that creeps into your team's psyche, and what do you have to do to keep that out of it?
I mean, history is something that's made to be broken, so we're not worried about being down 2-0. It's not over until the team wins 4 games, and we know that. And we just got to execute. When we get chances on the break to convert, we got to convert. When we get open shots, we got to take advantage of open shots. And we just can't turn the basketball over like we've been doing. And if they turn the ball over 20 times, which is good, in our home building, we should be fine to get out and run and play with pace. But we're not discouraged. They won 2 games, and the series is not over until you win 4.
Jermaine, back left.
Jermaine Franklin with TSN. Coach, how would you assess LeBron's play in the first 2 games, and what more can he do if there is more he can do?
Well, just be aggressive. Stay in attack mode, be aggressive, making the right plays like he's done all season. And, we just got to be able to convert in transition. It's not about LeBron. I have to do a better job. Our players have to do a better job. We have to play better, and they understand that, and we will.
Over here on the right, Tim.
Ty, Tim Reynolds with the AP. To kind of play off Joe's question a little bit more, the numbers were actually, they looked worse for Golden State just a couple weeks ago when they were down 3-1. Do you bring that up with your guys at all, or today, yesterday, tomorrow, as far as just how quickly a series can change and the whole outlook of a series can change, just as they showed a couple weeks ago?
Yes, we talked about it. They were down 3-1. I think they lost games 3 and 4 in Oklahoma City by 50-something points combined. So and they came back and just winning 1 game. When you win 1 game, it changed the whole series. And they was able to go home and win Game 5, then win Game 6 in Oklahoma City, and come home for a Game 7. So, we're not in that bad of shape as they were. 3-1 is worse than 2-0. And they came back and took it 1 game at a time like we have to do. But like I said, we're confident and we're home, and we haven't lost a playoff game here either. So we're going to be ready to play tomorrow.
Second row.
Marla Ridenauer, Akron Beacon-Journal. Have you or will you talk to Kyrie about playing less isolation style, and how important do you think that is to you guys in Game 3?
I just talking to Kyrie just about attacking. Attacking early on in the shot clock. Don't let the switching, make it stagnant. But he's one of the players that we have on our team that can go one-on-one because they're switching 1 through 5. But he has to make sharp, quick moves, and he understands that. But we need Kyrie to be aggressive. So he's a scorer. He's a special player. He has the best handle in the NBA, so he's able to play ISO basketball. But he's got to make quick decisions, and he understands that.
On the left. Go ahead.
Ty, Rick Nolan from the Medina Gazette. Outside of what might be a necessary move if Kevin can't play, have you contemplated any other lineup or rotation changes?
We thought about it. We've talked about it, but I can't let you know. I can't let you know what we plan on doing. But as a coaching staff, we've talked about some different things, and we've discussed some different things, yes.
If you don't make those changes, what can you do to get JR more touches, more shots?
Well, they're playing JR like we're playing Steph and Clay. Staying next to him. They're not leaving his body. And if we're not getting stops and getting out in transition, it's hard for JR to get shots because they're not leaving him. All the pin down actions are switching out to deny with JR, so it's been tough. So we have to play faster. We have to get stops and get out in transition.
Same row, chose the center.
Hi, Ron Krejcik from the San Francisco Chronicle. You mentioned you guys are undefeated at home in the playoffs, and the Warriors, I think, are 11-1 at home and 3-4 on the road. In your mind, what's the biggest difference? Is it just the fans, or what explains how a team plays so much differently at home and on the road, especially in the playoffs?
Well, the fans have a lot to do with it. You know, just coming back here, we have, you know, some of the best fans in the world, and they support us. And I think it helps with the role players, the bench players. They play better at home. And I just think when you have the crowd behind you, the way we've had it throughout this whole postseason, it's great to be at home. And like you said, they're 3-4 on the road, and we're undefeated at home. So we're looking forward to the challenge. And tomorrow, we know we play at home, but we got to give our fans something to cheer about.
Jeff, right here.
Tyronn, Jeff Zilgett, USA Today. The three-point shot was so important for you guys in the Eastern Conference playoffs. It's been minimized a little bit through the first two games of this series. You mentioned JR, how they're defending him. Channing hasn't had a lot of minutes. What are some of the things that you're looking at on film and going on the court with practice to get more looks and to knock down that three ball, which opens up your offense?
Well, if we play faster, we have to get stops. We play faster, we can get out in transition and get easy threes. But in the half court, they're doing a good job of shrinking the floor. They're long and athletic, so they're closing out hard. So we got to drive the basketball. Like, you know, Richard Jefferson did a great job in the last game of, you know, just catching in a straight line drive 4 times and got 4 layups. So we got to do a better job of reading the situation because they're running us off the three-point line. They don't want us to take those shots. So now we got to be able to just drive the basketball and get to the basket.
Last two, back left and over here.
Ty, Adam Jardy, the Columbus Dispatch. You talked a lot earlier in the postseason about the ball finding energy, and I just wonder, as you've gone through this series, how you've seen that play out.
It's been different this series because, you know, like I said before, they switch 1 through 5, so they make it tough to get 2 on the ball. You know, anything you're doing in basketball, you want to try to get 2 guys on the ball. If whether it's pick and roll, whether it's taking advantage of a mismatch on the post, they have to double team, and they've been doing that. But then they also been doing a great job of closing out and running us off the three-point line. So we got to do a better job of catching it and driving the basketball or making quick early decisions on the post.
Noah, last one right here.
Noah Kozlov's in the sport. You said that you need to be better. What exactly do you need to do to be better?
Just having our team ready to play. I think just taking advantage of mismatches, doing it in a better way where they're comfortable and guys are in the right positions in the right spots. And I think defensively just matching up, having the right matchups on the floor at the right time, which we've done a good job of. But they're taking advantage of, you know, our switching and having bigger guys in the post. And it's hard to try to double team, you know, Iguodala or Harrison Barnes in the post when you have Steph and Clay when you got to rotate to those guys. So they put you some disadvantages, so we got to do a better job of just trying to stay out of those mismatches and keeping everyone matched up on their man.
Thanks, Coach.